No, actually, no, we're live. This happens every single freaking live show.
Oh my god.
Alright, now we're live, so hi people who are watching. I'm Emma from Emma Books, and I have Ray of Sunshine Books, Little Red Reader, Kelly's Book Spill, and OXXNat13, who is not in the room at the moment. As you can see, 3 of them are together, which is unfair.
So sad. I am sad.
Me and Ray are super jealous because we're just having a little lonely party right now.
Yeah. Pretends that we're together, but we're not.
We're pretending. Technically, at the moment, we're together, but not like that. Alright, today we're going to be discussing Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. It's over here. It's on your shelf. And I think we're just going to start it off like we usually do with just talking about the general thoughts about the book. There are going to be spoilers, like all of our live shows. If you haven't read Breaking Dawn, I wouldn't recommend staying here. But the Q&A app is open, so you can ask us questions. You can leave questions on the YouTube URL in the comments. And you can also send them to us on Twitter using the hashtag EdwardsArmy. But what I actually loved Breaking Dawn. Like, I forgot how much I loved this book. I think I don't know why. I think I actually like it more than Twilight. And, like, if I had to put them in, like, an order, I'd probably say Breaking Dawn first, then Twilight, then Eclipse, and then New Moon. And it was always, like, it was always Twilight first. But, I don't know why. I got, like, so into Breaking Dawn, I just really did not want to put it down. There are very few parts that I didn't like about it. So, Ray, what did you think?
Breaking Dawn was definitely my favorite, like, reread, I think, because I forgot completely, like, how much I loved it at first when I first read it. And I used to think that Twilight was my favorite book, but now that I think about it, like, definitely Breaking Dawn has a special place in my heart, and I really did enjoy a lot more of it this time than I did, like, the last time I read it. So I think that's, like, my mind just changed, kind of.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Great. Somebody from the group of 3, because I don't know what order you guys want to go in.
You can order and stick to it.
I'll go first. For me, reading Breaking Dawn, because I had forgotten it so much, I loved rereading it because I didn't remember anything that happened. So to me, it was the most interesting to reread because the other ones I remembered everything that happened. So I like this a lot. I don't know if it's my favorite. It could be my favorite, but I really enjoyed rereading it out of all the rest of them.
I know what you mean. I felt like I remembered so much from, like, Twilight, especially
and
when
it made it kind of boring with the other ones.
Yeah, but, like, I remembered nothing of Breaking Dawn. Selena, what did you think?
For the most part, I thoroughly really enjoyed rereading this book. It is, I think, one of the favorites. It's Twilight and Breaking Dawn kind of flip-flop, but I just found it's so much harder to get through Jacob's sections this time around.
Yes.
I was like, no one cares, Jacob. Go home. But I liked it. I enjoyed rereading it.
And Red, what did you think? Because I think we're all aware that Red did not like Breaking Dawn either at the time.
Breaking Dawn can go die. It shouldn't exist. It should have ended with Eclipse. If I had to rate the books in order, I would say it goes Eclipse, Twilight, New Moon, and Breaking Dawn doesn't even make the list because it just shouldn't be there. Like everything from, like, the honeymoon to the imprinting, I'm like, this is just creepy and messed up. Can I cuss on this? I would say fucked up because that's what it is. Think about it. He bites his own baby out of her uterus. What? What?
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
And, like, it's even
Literally sank his teeth into her uterus. That's disgusting. That's placenta and
That's dinner time.
no. No.
I bet he saved some for snack time later.
And I don't care how Stephanie Meyer describes imprinting, it still feels like pedophilia. And what kind of fucking name is Renesmee? Like, what the hell is that shit?
And here, Breaking Dawn live show, where we judge Stephanie Meyer's choice of baby names.
I love how they all call her Nessie, and, like, Bella gets, like, she gets pissed off every single time. You named my baby. Nickname my baby the Loch Ness
I
Monster.
didn't think about the book though, and I get really mad because they didn't even include it in the movie. Was where like she has to go get the like forged documents and stuff with the super sketchy guy,
Yeah.
and like I kind of liked that scene because I don't know, I just like maybe just because the book's full of bad scenes, so it just wasn't hard to top. But I like that scene, and they didn't even include it in the movie, and I'm like, I hate you.
Well, I mean, they had the one scene where like she like gets the information, but like it wasn't like she met Jay Jinks like twice, I think, in the book. And in the movie, like she just met with him, like she didn't know who he was, and then they just gave her the documents. She didn't even know what the documents were.
Yeah, I feel like it was just more significant in the book,
Yeah.
like because she learned so much more, and I feel like it's one of those knowledge turning points, and they just don't include that, and it's stupid.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So I said my order. What's the rest of your guys' order of like what you liked which books you liked the most?
Twilight, Breaking Dawn, Flip Flop. Depends on what mood I'm in. Then let's go with New Moon and then Eclipse.
Mine's Twilight, Breaking Dawn, Eclipse, New Moon.
Ray, what about you?
It's so hard. Okay, I'm gonna say for this time around it'd be Breaking Dawn, Twilight, and then Eclipse.
And then Red says that Breaking Dawn doesn't even make the list. So I think you know your order right now.
Breaking Dawn doesn't even exist in her eyes.
One of the questions that I wanted to talk about was
It's pretty dead.
Alright, one of the questions I had was how did you feel about in the very beginning when they tell Charlie that they're getting married? Because I was very, very underwhelmed with that scene.
I love that his first reaction is just to start laughing, and I'm like, yes. I like Charlie. He's the only one with common sense in that whole book.
Right.
Real.
Like, I don't know, I thought that like he would like freak out so much because he had in the past, and like it took him like
I thought he was gonna grab that shotgun.
Seriously, that's what I was waiting for, is the shotgun to come out.
I
Realize
Typical dad thing.
I feel like it was like less expected, and it's just like the perfect reaction.
I know what you guys mean. Okay. I had another question.
I think Renee. I think her reaction was stupid because she was like, "No, you've always been different from other teenagers, so it's totally okay for you to get married at fucking 18 years old."
I was expecting her to freak out a lot more than she did, just the way they built it up.
Yeah, how they always mention how
Thank you
she
for
hates
like
getting...
not being a parent because your child seems mature.
Yeah.
Because she's not still fucking 18 or anything.
Yeah, Renee acts like she's 18 a lot, so like I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it wasn't like a big deal for her.
I feel like
I
she's like,
agree that it was really unrealistic.
I don't know, I just don't like her. I don't know, but I didn't like her in Twilight either. I just don't like her.
Yeah, I feel like Renee is like such like a I don't know. I never really liked her character all that much.
Like, I love Charlie. Like, I think Charlie's awesome.
Yeah, I like Charlie.
I love Charlie. Ugh, he needs so much more credit than he actually gets because he was just such a great character.
He really is. Like, honestly, I think he's one of the more, like, for being such a small character, I feel like he's one of the more complex characters in the book.
Charlie Swan is my life. He is bae.
Charlie Swan.
Did we? I know that Selena said it before, but like, did you all feel that reading Jacob's parts were like really boring?
Yeah.
Oh.
I never liked reading Jacob. Period. Even in like New Moon, I hate it.
It's like, wow, can you? I mean, seriously, he puts a 10-year-old girl to shame with his whining.
That's right.
It's really frustrating.
Why won't Bella love me?
I'm gonna go
Why
walk to a
can't she
park
know
and just stare at girls really creepily.
I love Bella. I'll just imprint on her daughter.
That was so weird. He's talking to the chick in the park. He was like, oh, well, she kind of looks like Bella. She kind of acts like Bella.
Oh my god.
I will pretend she's Bella.
That video about Breaking Dawn Part 2 should have ended. You imprinted on me. I didn't imprint on you.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like his whole section was like I didn't want to read that whole section. I considered skipping over it, but I didn't remember if there's anything important in it or not. He just whined the whole time, I think. Like, I'm skipping through it right now. Like, it's just whining.
And the biggest thing that annoyed me, and it annoyed me the second time, I mean, it didn't disappoint me as much because, like, I knew what was happening, but there's so much buildup and nothing happens. Like the one thing I was waiting for was the big fight at the end. I'm like, yes, finally some action. And they don't give it to you. At least in the movie, you still feel satisfied because they still go all out with the fighting scene. So even after you find out that it didn't happen, you're still okay because you still saw a bunch of action. She could have done that in the book, and she didn't. Like, no. Like, there was no action satisfaction whatsoever. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to just spend all this time getting people coming in from other countries and training and doing all this stuff, and
then we're going to sit there and talk about our feelings.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, there was a lot of build-up with other characters coming in and learning how to fight and how to deal with them for nothing to happen. That was a lot of the book.
There was like a lot of rising action and then resolution. There was like no climax.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Like, the book was, now that I think about it, the book was like mostly all waiting. You know what I mean? Like, the first half, they were waiting to see what would happen with the whole pregnancy situation. You know, they were waiting to see is Bella going to die or is she not, and then what's going to happen afterwards. And then the whole next part, they were just waiting for the Volturi. Like, the whole book was them just waiting and, like, nothing happening.
And I just don't like books that are like that. Just in general, not just with Breaking Dawn. I like things to happen, and in Breaking Dawn, nothing happens. This is literally Breaking Dawn. Like, they get married, they have sex, she gets pregnant with a creepy, like, baby thing.
Creepy baby thing.
Whatever it is, I don't know.
Like, tries to save the baby despite the fact that it's going to kill Bella. And actually, I'm not entirely sure that I don't agree with that, but because honestly, by the time the fourth book rolls around, Bella can kind of die. But she did, so I guess it works. I don't know. I don't know. I like Bella's just. I loved Bella in the first book. Like, I really liked Bella in the first book, but by the fourth book, I just feel like she's so annoying.
Yeah, no,
I feel like she doesn't have that fire that I loved about her in the first book anymore. She's just
so sassy, and then it just kind of
Bella Wayne. Like,
one thing I hated too was like, Bella completely forgot about Alice in this book and jumped to Rosalie when her and Alice are supposed to be best friends, and I feel like Alice just got left to the wayside while Bella just got all friends with Rosalie and let Rosalie be her bodyguard and crap. I hated that because I love Alice. Did they talk
about that at all? Like, was there like I feel like there was like a whole conversation about it between Alice and Jacob, I think it was.
Yeah, there was a conversation between Alice and Jacob about it, and apparently she couldn't deal with Bella because she couldn't read her thoughts, and it gave her a headache because of her anatomy. But
that's
still, dude, you deal with a headache.
If you guys were in Bella's situation, like with the whole child almost maybe killing me thing, what would you guys do? Would you have kept it, like, just because it's like, I don't mean like on like an abortion topic, but like this thing is like a vampire. Like, what would you have?
Sucking your blood from the inside out.
Exactly.
Like, if it was like, I understand Bella's point of view because I feel like even if it was at the cost of my own life, I would want to do everything I could to give. Because obviously she doesn't see anything wrong with being a vampire, so why should she see anything wrong with her child being a vampire? You know, like there's no. But it's like your child, and I understand wanting to put your child's life first, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with Rosalie's motives for encouraging that. I agree with Bella, like, wanting to do that because I feel like that's what I would do. And I just don't feel like Rosalie's motives were all that sincere, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it's like she just wanted to have a baby in her life regardless of anything else. Like, I feel like she wasn't defending Bella because it was what Bella wanted. She was just doing it for her own selfish reasons. Even if I agreed with what she did, I don't agree with why.
Yeah. At least they figured out a way to, like, get Bella to where she's kind of healthy again with the blood, which was completely gross. Because she's a human that found the taste of blood good.
I hate the part in the movie where she drinks it and then she smiles and
she has it all over her teeth.
So gross.
So gross.
That was not okay.
I like how that part, like, with the maybe he just wants something to sink its teeth into. Like, I like how it was like exactly the way it was in the book and the movie, where like it was through Jacob's thoughts. Like, I felt like that scene was really, really genuinely played out in the movie.
Yeah, there's some things I do like. Even though Jacob was whiny a lot, he was hilarious in this book because he's constantly picking on Rosalie.
Right.
He's constantly thinking like snide things that Edward can hear. I mean, I thought a lot of him was really funny too in the book. I didn't like his thoughts per se, like the entire section of him, but I thought he was funny in a lot of different parts.
Also, like, once he imprinted on Renesmee, like, I kind of, like, liked him as a character. Like, I remember saying in the live show that, like, I liked him as Bella's friend, and I liked that, like, it was like that again, because Eclipse, he was just whining about her again. Like, that's all the book was, with him just pining after Bella and, like, bothering her about it. And, like, once he imprinted on Renesmee, like, they, like, became, like, best friends again. Like, I liked that role that he, like, I like that he picked up that role again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wish that he didn't have to fucking imprint on a child to do it.
Well, at least she's like supercharged growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was some
So it's still, but it's like less. No, it's not even less. I can't justify that in any manner. I'm so sorry. It's just creepy.
Are there any questions, anyone? I want to make sure I'm not ignoring anybody.
I don't think there's any on the YouTube channel. Let's do this one. How do you feel about Bella being a vampire? I feel like we discussed this in one of the live shows, like, if we think, like, Bella should be a vampire or not, but, like, how do you feel about Bella as a vampire now?
Well, she rocks it, right? She doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
She doesn't mess around.
The vampire was epic. Like, even in the movie, like, there was, like, such a change in her character. Like, I thought she was so cool.
Yeah, I like her a lot better as a vampire, because as a human, she's just, yeah, she's very
now
timid
she
and
doesn't
whiny.
have to be like, you know, spoiled whiny person about, oh, I want to be a vampire.
Why won't he kiss me longer?
Get over yourself.
Stick with me.
Yeah, I want to stay human for the sex.
This entire
That part was funny.
yes.
No, I now that
I can understand that the Cullens are super crazy rich and everything, but I still feel like the fact that they have an island is just so random.
I know.
I just, like, they just don't strike me as the type of family that would have an island.
I know what you mean, because, like, while they, like, kind of threw their money around, like, the whole length of the story, like, it wasn't, like, I feel like having an island is, like, such, like, a thing.
Yeah, I don't know, I just feel like it just seems, like, kind of out of place.
Well, what about the fact that they have this island where housekeepers come to clean it, but the island's in the, like, sunshine, so if he goes outside, he's gonna sparkle, for sure. But the island has people coming to it, so it's not like he can...
And they only had, like, speculations of what he was. Like, they didn't even know that he was a vampire.
Yeah, that really did not make any sense to me.
That is very true. I absolutely never thought of that. No, but now that, like, you see that, Red, like, I totally just remember that situation where Bella's like, I kind of want to be a human longer just because of this.
I didn't realize this is
after, like, they do it for the first time, and then he goes back to, like, moody, annoying Edward. It's like, you know, and he makes her totally feel bad about the whole sex thing, and I'm just like, that's a dick move for any guy in anything. Like,
here's what you
you're being a dick right now. Like, you don't do that to a girl after you guys just did that.
And then not touch her, period, on your honeymoon. What kind of crap is that?
I know, like, I just feel like, you know, it's like, here she is, like, you know, really making herself vulnerable, putting herself out there when she doesn't have experience with this, you know, and the fact that she doesn't have experience with it makes her that much more vulnerable, and then he just straight up threw it in her face. Like, it was just such a dick move.
I know, that part really pissed me off when he was just, like, keeping his distance from her. Like, if she says that she's not in pain, and, like, I don't know, he was, like, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, throughout that whole part, he was like, Bella was fine with it, Bella wanted it, and, like, if, like, she never said, like, it hurt, you know what I mean? Like, while she had the bruises and stuff, it never, like, affected her. She was just like, oh, that's there, I didn't even realize that.
I think he would have known, like, during, you know?
Right. Well, I think he was just so self-absorbed about that whole situation. Like, he didn't even think about her at all. He just thought about himself, and that drove me crazy.
And honestly, like, I feel like he's always so worried about hurting Bella because Bella is so fragile, but he doesn't care at all about emotionally hurting her. He's constantly emotionally hurting her and not considering her own opinions and the fact that she's a big girl that can make decisions in her own life, because apparently physically protecting her is more important than emotionally, like, also not hurting her.
Yeah.
This is very true. had another question, but I can't remember it. I'm trying to go like, in chronological order, but if you guys have any questions, like feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I think Edward's emotionally abusive.
Okay, who is your favorite vampire that's not part of the Cullen clan? Like that's the random vampires that show up.
Oh wait, in the back of the book, there's that chart of everyone's names. Hold on, wait,
I don't remember his name, but you know, like the revolutionary guy, I liked him.
He was hilarious.
Yes. And then who was it that he liked in the Denali clan? Was it Kate? And he was like, when they're about to die, he was like, if we make it through this, I'll follow you
The
anywhere.
electricity girl.
It was so cute. Yeah, I think that was Kate, right? I also like Benjamin, the one who can like transform the elements. I really liked him too. He totally stuck by them even when his daughter didn't want him to.
Yeah.
Wait, what are they in stores again?
I don't know.
Because this is supernatural talent.
I like the girl with the electricity. I just think that would be so.
Yes.
I like that girl's power where she can make you see whatever she wants.
Yes,
That
that was the Jungle Girls.
yeah.
I think Bella's power is stupid.
That's Zafrina. I like how Renesmee and Zafrina.
I mean, it's very I like it's very good defensive wise.
That's the reason they didn't fight because Bella was
Because she
protecting
blocked
them
them
the
all,
whole time,
yeah.
So, you know what? Bella's power can go die because it deprived me of a fight.
Yes. Oh my god.
It's so pointless.
Like, I mean, okay, imagine being like a little kid, like, oh, what kind of superpower do you have? Oh, I'd like to put these like magical bubbles around people.
So
Nobody says
We
that.
can talk places.
who else did I like? I can't remember.
I'm reading the acknowledgement. It's like hot publicist, HAWT.
Wait, what?
In the acknowledgement, Stephanie Meyer put, thanks to my talented and hot publicist, but she spelled hot like HAWT.
That's so
Yes,
weird.
Stephanie Meyer. Yes.
Oh gosh. How did you guys feel about them changing the end of the movie?
I loved it.
I loved it. It was needed. It would have been a horrible movie had they not changed it. It would have been really boring.
Yeah, I know you.
Like, when you were in the theater, what did you do?
I honestly, like, because the movie came out so much, like, longer after I read the book that I forgot that it was a dream, you know? Or not a dream, but, like, not real. It was a vision or whatever. I forgot that. So I went and saw it with my best friend because I actually was hearing, like, that was actually really good because I didn't plan on seeing it. So we went and saw it. We got to the end of the movie, and I'm like, oh, my God. And I was like, holy shit, what? What? Like, I hated Breaking Dawn Part 1. I think it's just one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen, and I feel like they could have done that whole thing within, like, 20 minutes and added it to the other movie. Like, I don't care about a movie about a chick being pregnant with some creepy vampire baby. Like, that's all that really happened.
Looking like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's just, like, I feel like it's just a boring movie. Like, I don't know how they managed to drag that out into, like, 2 hours. But Breaking Dawn Part 2 is, despite the fact that I hate the Breaking Dawn book, Breaking Dawn Part 2 is my favorite movie of all the Twilight movies.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Yeah, I flipped out. When I was in the theater, my sister had known that she knew what was going to happen. And when it started happening, I literally jumped out of my seat, like, gasping. Like, this does not happen!
Yeah.
What are they doing? Because I knew that they changed the end. I was having a panic attack.
Well, and I was just like, and I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, I must have forgotten like, everything about the book. I don't remember these characters dying. What?
I know. I started slapping the person next to me. And I was like, oh, they can't just kill Carl. And I was like yelling at the top of
And
my
it's really
lungs.
funny because I feel like he was really the only character I cared about dying. Like,
Yeah.
the rest of them I didn't really care about dying.
It was Carlisle and Seth. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck no.
Yeah, and Jasper died too. Jasper died, didn't he? Because Alice went.
I just cared about Carlisle and Seth dying.
I remember because I never saw it in the movies because by the time the movie came out, I was like, haha, fuck Twilight. Like, Twilight's stupid and whatever. But, like, I watched it, I guess it was sometime last year, and, like, I was like, oh, well, you know what? I never finished the Twilight movies. Like, let's just finish them. And so, like, I watched it, and I'm sitting in this chair, and, like, I'm, like, curled up like this. I'm like, when did all this happen? Like, years since I read the book, I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't remember any of this, and like this is also before I like read the book, so I was like, I don't remember this happening. Like, how could I have forgotten all that happened? And then like I was stalking Christine's videos one night, and I'm watching her Breaking Dawn Part 2 movie review, and like she says like this didn't happen. I'm just like, how can they change all that? Like, I feel like when producers and like writers change something that big in a book to movie adaptation, like it's always bad. But I feel like they made like a really, really good executive decision to.
Yeah, I agree.
It made the movie so much better.
Where it worked. It really worked. Like, if they had done it too close to the book, I probably would have hated the movie with a passion, but I loved that movie. I thought it was really good.
And like I thought it was cool the way they did it because like it fit in so well when like she's touching Arrow and like she's like no matter what we say like you're not gonna change your minds like because it was so like it went through so smoothly that like I didn't expect it to not have happened in the book. Like it felt like it belonged there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I feel like they kept the ending of the book. They just did it how Stephanie should have written it. Like,
Right.
Stephanie should go rewrite the end of the book to match the movie.
But then again, we wouldn't be able to see it because Bella can't read minds, so she didn't know that Alice did that. So for all we know, Alice could have done it.
She could have
But Bella-
included. I don't care. They could have included an Alice point of view in there if that's what it took.
I know, we get enough of
Alice have,
Jacob.
she have can she change like her visions? Like can she do that? Now
No, it's based on people's choices.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, now I understand it because I'm like, wait, she can't change what Arrow's seeing. Like, how did that even work? But no, you guys are right.
I feel like maybe she added like a third point of view for Alice, you know, just incorporated that into the book so that when you got to that scene, you could actually like.
And that could have helped with the whole Alice just disappearing and us being like, well, where the hell did Alice go?
Mhm.
We could have known her going to get these people.
How did you guys feel about Alice leaving?
I was pissed.
I was so upset.
Yeah, I was
pretty
mad.
Like now that like I've seen the movie so many times over reading, like I knew why she was leaving. Like I understood. Like there was no surprise. Like I didn't forget anything about this book now that I'd seen the movie so many times beforehand. But like still like I can't imagine like being in that situation. Like your whole family is like sentenced to die and your best friend leaves. Like you know what I mean? Oh, so
It's
much.
like payback for her just jumping into Rosalie's boat.
Right?
That pissed me off.
I like this question. If you were a vampire, what power would you have? So like I guess we can do it like either. I feel like we answered this question in one of the previous live shows, but now like we have like more actual choice.
I don't remember mine either.
I don't remember mine. I always feel like invisibility would be cool. Like that's just.
I would love, yeah, I would be on that boat too.
Would you want
What?
Would you want a defensive power or an offensive power?
Well, offense because those are funner. Like,
Yeah. Defensive powers are like waiting for someone to attack you and then using it. You can't do anything.
It is.
Were there any defensive ones besides Bella's? I can't remember. Did anyone have a defensive?
Jasper's was kind of defensive because he can control the emotions.
right.
And then Edward, with him being able to read minds, that's going to be more of a defensive power.
That's true.
Yeah.
I always felt like the tracker one was kind of pointless.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird.
Like that was never. I never ever said to myself, I want to be a tracker.
But think of it this way, though. Think of it, if you have this tracking power, how many people out there need stuff found or need people found? And you can be like, hey, you want to pay me money? I'll go find them because, you know, I have this magical tracking ability.
Yeah.
And you know what?
That's-
Now you can make fun of my power. Now I'm rich, so whatever.
I still want the lightning zap power. That'd be
That
zapping
one's very cool.
I want Jane's power. Like, I just want to, like, inflict pain.
Right?
That one's very cool.
I want multiple powers. Can I have all of them? Can I just be like a bad lab accident that just got all these powers? Did that just happen?
Oh my god, you're a Powerpuff Girl.
Yes, that would be a Powerpuff vampire. That would be a thing. I could write a series about that. Done.
What did you guys think of Renesmee's gift? Because I feel like that's kind of like a shitty gift.
I don't even
What
remember
the
what
heck?
it was. What was
That
it?
is
for
communicating
people,
through
yeah.
touching you. That's
Like,
completely
how weird is that? Just
I
talk
don't-
to somebody like,
I feel like that would just be rendered totally useless with me because I don't like touching people.
It's like she shows people, yeah.
Yeah, the past and the memories, like
Yeah.
that's how they stop everything is from her touching him and showing him everything that is going on.
it's just weird how weird would it just be to go up to somebody who knew nothing about you and just be like,
my
touch
life.
their face.
I think they
And
just
they'd be like, and then they see things you're like, that'd just be so uncomfortable.
Like Stephanie's imagination was just
You
running dry on
know
this one.
what
Yeah,
her
she
power
went to
should
weird
have been?
places.
You guys, Renesmee's power should have been the ability to change vampires into humans.
Oh my god, that would have been
that would have been so
Badass.
That would have been
That would
crazy.
have been really cool to take people's immortality away. I found it weird that she wasn't venomous though. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's like
And Edward's gonna be like, "What changed me?" And Bella's gonna be like, "What the fuck? I just changed."
That would have been a hilarious argument.
Yeah.
We have a question on the YouTube channel.
Oh, what's the question?
It says, "What did you think about the character development in this book?"
Okay. I guess we can go through like multiple characters. I personally loved Jacobs because of Renesmee. Like I feel like Renesmee was a big catalyst for Jacobs' character development, and I would have absolutely hated him if like I still hate him. Like I would have hated him more if he didn't go through that with Renesmee. I just really liked him and Renesmee's relationship. I don't know why. Like, but it was like very, very cute to me, even though like it's total pedophilia. But,
Yeah. I think the only time when he really just pissed me off as far as his character is concerned is when he immediately got so possessive over her before Bella could even get to know who her daughter was. That pissed me off so bad. I just wanted to beat him up.
Everybody, special guest Bella from my Twilight video.
Let's screen share and watch it.
Special guest. Yes.
I just watched it during the live show.
Did I
talk about character development?
What did you think about the character development?
And Breaking Dawn.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of.
Really?
Well,
Thank you. You're like everybody else is like, "Oh my god."
some of the new people were all right, but there wasn't enough, so I didn't really care for them at all.
Because
Yeah.
everybody else is saying how like Breaking Dawn is like almost rivaled with Twilight for their favorite book in the series, and I really did not like Breaking Dawn. I just didn't.
It's kind of too much.
I liked Bella's character development, though. I think when she turned into a vampire, she changed so much and become a character that didn't annoy me as much. So I liked
I
Bella.
like Dawn the vampire.
I was saying earlier though, she's not as sassy and she doesn't stick up for herself
Yeah.
as much in this.
I guess
one.
it's kind of a two-way.
Once she
thing.
turns into a vampire, she does, but like because she's like.
Oh,
I
yeah,
wanna
it's
keep
definitely
I want
the
to keep my
second
kid and
half.
everything. But even still, like even before, she didn't. She just wasn't as sassy in this book as she was in the other.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like I guess like I can kind of understand that because like she's pregnant and dying is like I can understand if she doesn't want to be adopted, and also like it wasn't like a lot of the lines from Bella were like in her head. You know what I mean? Like especially in Twilight. Like I remember like we were talking about how everyone like comments on like the grammar and like the writing style of Twilight, and like we all said that we liked it because like we got a lot of insight into Bella's mind. And like a lot of her like sassy comments weren't always verbal. A lot of them were just mental, and like because most of the like that whole bulk of her waiting like while she's pregnant and like not a vampire, it was told from Jacob's point of view, so we didn't get that from it. You know what I mean?
That's great.
Show me.
I didn't even think about that, but that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
And, like in the beginning, like I can like still like while they're like on their honeymoon and stuff, like there's like no significant one-liners from Bella, but yeah, like I feel like that has a lot to do with it that she's pregnant and dying, and a lot of them are mental. We didn't get to see that from her from a lot of
Can
it.
we comment on the part in the movie where Bella's like all self-conscious after they have sex or whatever, and she asks him, and he was like, "Last night was the best night of my life." The most awkward scene I think I've ever watched in a movie. It makes me feel so uncomfortable.
I like that breath. I didn't realize I was
Honestly,
holding.
it's just kind of sad. It's kind of just sad. It's like, wow, you're such a virgin.
I remember seeing like there used to be this website called Witty Profiles, and like you just post like stupid quotes on it and stuff, and like I would go on the top page and one of them was like Team Cedric. It was like when Twilight was really big, and it was like Team Cedric Diggory because nobody likes a 107-year-old virgin, and I'm just like yes.
Yes. Like, it's just, I don't know. When you're like that old and you're a virgin, I just don't trust you. There's something wrong with you.
Don't get it.
Tough control, that's for sure.
I don't
You
know
know
why
what?
I kept, like,
Control. Everybody says no. I said.
Oh, yeah, true.
I
None
like-
of us said no.
She wanted
She
it
was begging for it.
so bad.
He probably just had some problems. He's dead after all.
He doesn't have blood.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love
How
how
would it even
Emmett
work?
chooses
This
the books
conversation
this
is
way.
not so adult.
This is a rated R live show from now on.
Please warnings on these things.
I love how Emmett made fun of their sex life so much too. Like
Yes.
the whole part, like after she's a vampire, they're like, what, you didn't break anything, and like the I don't think that was in the movie, but like the reason they had the arm wrestling fight was like, if I beat you, you have to stop making comments about my sex life. But like that was like the reason they had the arm wrestling fight, and they didn't talk about that in the. Like I think he made like maybe like 2 comments, but like that was it. Like-
Yeah, I love how they brought the whole house down, though. I'm like, that's you guys finally doing it right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think Breaking Dawn
Yeah.
rates on?
I just feel like that gave me a whole other respect for them.
It's just so random. Like all of a sudden they're just like,
Banging like bunnies.
I know.
Honestly, like, I'm kind of, like, surprised just because, you know, the first 3 books are so PG, and then there's, like,
and all of a
and
sudden, bam.
yeah, and it's not
Sex.
that it's not even just that they, like, had sex, like, they got married or whatever, it's just that, like, how often they had it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll never forget being a 13-year-old and not understanding why the bed broke while they were on their honeymoon. Like, I did not. And I have significant memories of calling my friend. I was sitting in my bed. It was like 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, so like, why is the bed broken? And why does she have bruises all over her? And my friend's like, Emma, they did the thing. And I'm like, what thing? She's like, the thing. I'm just like, oh. And that was where I started not being able to identify sex scenes in books. I swear there's like 6 books out there that I've read that I've noticed that they had sex. Like, a lot of times I have to consult the internet.
You know, I feel like that's one thing where I feel like I have changed between the first time, because the first time I read it, like, I mean, I wasn't like that. Like, I understand very well what was happening, but I don't feel like I appreciated, like, just what that meant for them in their relationship at that point. Like, you know, at the time, because, like, I was in high school, you know, and wasn't really, like, you know, you're still kind of,
Same with me. I was in middle school.
yeah, you know, so you're just kind of, how do I put it, like, inexperienced. You're you know, I'm in high school, inexperienced, like all of that, you know. Whereas like kind of being older now, you know, I have like a different perspective just in general on everything, you know. And I feel like that's one of those things where I like it's just part of getting older, you know. And I feel like the second time around, I feel like, I mean, I do think it's almost a little bit random how often they do it, but at the same time, I feel like I do have like a new appreciation for it, and it didn't bother me as much this time around because I feel like I understood the purpose of it more, you know.
See, I was a senior in high school when I read these books, so it was completely different for me. I wasn't in with the hipsters reading it, but you know, before it got really, really popular. I read it when it got really popular.
I like.
I'm also older than y'all though, so that could be it.
I remember hearing about Twilight in 6th grade. Like, I remember somebody reading it in, like, May of 6th grade. They were reading the first book. And then I think, like, maybe, like, halfway through, like, 7th grade, I, like, started reading it. And then, like, the end of 7th grade, it got really popular for me. But, like, as I'm, like, I didn't, like, start reading it got really popular. But, like, as it got popular, I was still reading the books.
See, all 3 books were out before I started reading it. So I didn't have to wait for them to come out. I only had to wait for Breaking Dawn.
I actually don't think I read it for any of them.
I read them in sophomore year of high school, I want to say.
I don't even remember.
Me neither. I think it was like 7th grade.
Ray, when did you read them?
I read them in like, I think it was 5th and 6th grade. And I didn't have to wait for them to come out either.
You're such a baby.
We're gonna have to start wrapping it up.
So
Oh, what?
we're getting close to where we need to get off. But do we want to discuss what we're going to start doing with our group now that we're done with Twilight?
Yes. So because we have, you know, this was just the Twilight read along, and now that Twilight's obviously over, we were thinking about starting our own book club with the same people. I know Enya's not here because Enya has the flu, so she couldn't participate in the live show, but she would definitely be a host for a future book club. Were we on agreement that we were going to do like series?
Yes.
Well, we're going to do the first book in a series or standalones, just depending on the month, because I feel like people kind of just lose interest after the first book in a book club. So if they want to continue the series like afterwards, but I feel like we'll do the first book in a series or standalone.
Series do tend to drag out a lot.
Like I can tell, like with Twilight, like the first 2 months are great, and then the second, like everyone stopped caring. Like we kind of stopped caring too.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if we do the first book in a series, it gets you interested in the series. But then if you want to continue it, you don't have to wait for the live shows and crap to do that.
Right.
And I think the November book's going to be Daughter, Smoke, and Bone, right? Like that's what we've all pretty much agreed on.
Yeah. Is that what we?
Do we want to create a new group for it?
Yeah. Yeah, we might as well. I vote for the name Queegee. I like it. I don't know about you guys. I like it.
How do we spell it again?
Queijii.
Yeah.
Queegee.
What does it stand for again?
Ouija.
It's how I spelled Ouija last night at the movies, and I've been tortured ever since.
My friend's Polly now. It's Polly.
If we do this Ouija, Sierra's got to be a host too.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Me.
Yes.
But, like,
Guys, look in our group.
Yeah.
She and Selena are like a package deal.
Yeah.
That's true now.
Alright, so all in favor of renaming the group Queegee?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, you guys, everybody watching, welcome to the new Queegee Book Club.
This is
I'll make
great.
announcements for this. We're gonna have to explain it.
It's so funny because, like, you were trying so hard to come up with the name, and it just kind of came out itself. Thanks,
Yeah.
Chloe.
Because I'm amazing. Because I can spell.
All right, so yeah, just keep an eye out for information on our new book club that we're going to be starting. And yeah, I know that forever who's still watching, if you live in California, Kelly, Selena, and Red are having a meetup. I don't know where you guys doing it again.
At the
Yeah,
last
we've changed
bookstore.
it.
It's the last bookstore.
We don't have time to go to the park.
Yeah, so meet us at 5. If you want to meet up with us, we'll be at the last bookstore at 5 o'clock.
I'm gonna fly over right now.
Yeah, I'll be there in like 2 hours.
If I drive, it'll take me 3 days, but I'll be there.
The whole time we're there.
Yeah, if I drive, I'll be there like
half an hour to drive down here, and I was driving like 90 the entire way, so.
Alright, I think we're good for this live show. Does anyone have any last minute things they want to touch on? We good? You two?
Breaking Dawn starts.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think everyone but Red enjoyed it, but that's okay.
That's not true.
Women
Love
not serious
that.
either.
Well, I enjoyed it the first time around, but
See, and Sarah's with me too.
She likes the movie and not the book.
The movies are very good. I think I'm gonna go watch the movies. Like I was like,
I still haven't watched the movies again yet.
The movie was good. I give it. At least I like the movie. That's something, right? But the
Yeah,
movie was.
time.
I don't know the movie.
We watch it and we talk about it together.
All the time.
Right.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you whoever asked us questions. And we will see you again soon for our Daughter and Smoke and Bone live show. I have to buy that. Oh, you know what? I was making this whole month about not buying books, and it's November 2nd, and I already have to buy one.
Yes. I'll buy it for you.
I have to buy one book, but that's for the giveaway, so.
I have to buy.
No.
You do that to yourself.
I didn't do that.
Wait, Kelly, did you just say you already bought books?
Now I have to buy 4 books for giveaways.
Well, I almost thought about picking 2 winners, and then I'm like, no.
Ain't nobody got the benefit.
And nobody got money for that.
Yeah, I was just like, no.
Yeah, my next giveaway ain't gonna be like that. We're
I told you I'm gonna win it.
I love you guys, but
We already have a
I'm a
picked winner.
broke booktuber, so.
I feel you on a personal level.
Yes. I agree so hard.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys soon for our final live show. Bye.
Bye. Bye.